In the heart of the Ecuadorian Amazon, an extreme sport unfolds. The 2014 Adventure Racing World Championship pushed human endurance to its limits across treacherous terrain. Among the competitors was Team Peak Performance from Sweden, led by Mikael Lindnord, seasoned athletes accustomed to facing the wild's relentless challenges. Their journey was a grueling test of navigation, stamina, and teamwork, a journey where every decision could mean the difference between victory and defeat, or even survival. They were focused, driven, and entirely unprepared for the life-altering encounter that awaited them deep within the dense jungle canopy. 3 days into the race, exhaustion was a constant companion. As Team Peak Performance paused for a meal of meatballs and coffee, a gaunt, wounded dog emerged from the shadows. His fur matted, his body scarred, the stray canine seemed drawn by the scent of sustenance. Lindnord, acting on instinct and compassion, offered the dog a meatball. It was a small gesture, perhaps, but one that forged an immediate and unbreakable bond. This humble offering was not merely food, it was an invitation, an acknowledgement of a life clinging to the edge in a world indifferent to its struggles. The dog devoured the offering, and then simply stayed. The team, now refreshed, pushed onward. They had a race to win, a finish line to cross, and no expectation that their jungle encounter would be anything more than a fleeting moment of shared humanity. Yet, the dog, who Lindnord would soon name Arthur, had other plans. He followed, a persistent shadow through the thick undergrowth, navigating the same unforgiving terrain that challenged world-class athletes. His determination was astonishing, his loyalty immediate. Arthur wasn't just trailing, he was joining, a silent, four-legged member refusing to be left behind, observing every move with an unwavering gaze. Days later, the team reached the final, most formidable stage of the race, a 36-mile kayak journey down the treacherous mangrove river. As they prepared their boats, Arthur reappeared on the riverbank, looking as exhausted and determined as ever. The sight of him, still there, still waiting, stirred a profound emotion within Lindnord. To leave him now, knowing the dangers of the river and the jungle, felt impossible. The team launched their kayaks, but Arthur, without hesitation, plunged into the churning water, struggling against the current, desperate to stay with his newfound companions. His resolve was heartbreakingly clear. Arthur was clearly in distress. The river's powerful current was too much for his weary body, weakened by weeks, perhaps months, of starvation and injury. He was rapidly losing ground, drifting away from the kayaks, his struggle evident with every gasping breath. The team watched, torn between the demands of the race and the moral imperative staring them in the face. This wasn't just an animal anymore, it was a companion who had risked everything to stay with them. Lindnord knew he couldn't leave Arthur to drown. The race, for a moment, faded into the background, eclipsed by a more urgent, profound mission. Mikael Lindnord made a decision that would change the course of his life and Arthur's forever. He pulled his kayak over, ignoring the shouts and urgency of the race. He then reached out, grappling with the struggling dog, and hauled the soaked, shivering Arthur into his boat. It was a spontaneous act of compassion, driven by an ethical conviction that transcended competitive ambition. This was the true start of the rescue operation, not just offering food, but actively intervening to save a life, choosing empathy over accolades, forging a bond far stronger than any championship medal could represent. Arthur was now officially part of the team. With Arthur now aboard Lindnord's kayak, the journey took on a different dimension. The team continued downriver, but the dynamics had irrevocably shifted. Arthur, though exhausted, seemed to understand his predicament, remaining remarkably still as the kayak cut through the water. He was a silent, watchful passenger, an emblem of resilience. This segment of the race was no longer just about human athletic prowess, it was about protecting a vulnerable life amidst a challenging environment. Every stroke, every turn of the river, now carried the added weight of responsibility for their new, four-legged teammate. The initial rescue was complete, but the journey was far from over. Upon reaching a calmer section of the river, the team carefully brought their kayaks to shore. Arthur, still weak and shivering, was the immediate focus of their attention. They performed a quick assessment, noting his deep wounds and emaciated state. Though far from medical professionals, the team utilized their limited first aid supplies to clean and dress some of his more severe injuries, offering what comfort they could. This impromptu wilderness clinic underscored their commitment. The rescue wasn't just pulling him from the water, it was the ongoing care, the recognition that his survival depended on their continuous support, even in this remote jungle setting. After finishing the race, the team's immediate priority shifted from competition to Arthur's well-being. But the challenges of a jungle rescue extended far beyond the immediate terrain. As they began their journey out of the remote area, they faced bureaucratic hurdles. Ecuadorian officials, bound by strict regulations, initially prevented Arthur from accompanying the team to the capital, Quito, citing animal welfare protocols and the dangers of transporting a stray. This was a critical juncture. A successful rescue meant not just saving Arthur from the river, but securing his passage to safety, navigating a complex web of rules designed for human travel, not an unexpected canine companion. Lindnord, refusing to abandon Arthur, made a solemn promise: he would not leave Ecuador without the dog. This resolve ignited the next phase of the rescue. The team began negotiations, explaining Arthur's story and the bond that had formed. They understood that securing Arthur's future required more than just compassion; it demanded persistence, advocacy, and a willingness to navigate unfamiliar legal and logistical landscapes. This was no longer just about a stray dog, it was about fulfilling a moral obligation. Their commitment was clear: Arthur had chosen them, and they, in turn, chose Arthur, signaling a profound shift in their post-race plans. After intense discussions and a display of genuine commitment from Michael and the team, the Ecuadorian authorities, touched by Arthur's story, eventually granted permission for his transport to Quito. This was a significant breakthrough in the rescue operation. Arthur was carefully loaded into a vehicle, beginning his long journey out of the jungle environment that had been his home. The focus shifted to his immediate medical needs in the capital, securing veterinary care for his numerous injuries and ensuring he was strong enough for the next leg of his unexpected adventure. Each mile closer to Quito was a step towards a healthier, safer future. Once in Quito, Arthur was immediately taken to a veterinary clinic. His condition, though stable, required urgent and extensive medical attention. Vets discovered several untreated wounds, including a severe injury on his back, alongside parasitic infections and malnutrition. This phase of the rescue was critical, stabilizing his health, administering necessary treatments, and preparing him for the long journey ahead. The team ensured Arthur received the best possible care, understanding that his ultimate survival and successful relocation depended on his physical recovery. It was a race against the clock, but one they were determined to win for their loyal companion. As Arthur slowly recovered, Michael Lindnord made the monumental decision to bring Arthur home to Sweden. This wasn't a simple task, it initiated a complex international rescue operation. Moving an animal across continents involves rigorous quarantine regulations, extensive veterinary checks, and substantial travel costs. It meant navigating international customs, securing permits, and ensuring Arthur's fitness for air travel. The challenge was immense, but the bond formed in the jungle superseded all obstacles. Lindnord was resolute: Arthur deserved a safe, loving home, and he was prepared to do whatever it took to provide it. The next phase required coordinated effort and significant resources. The story of Arthur quickly spread, captivating hearts worldwide. Recognizing the enormous financial burden of Arthur's international relocation and ongoing care, Michael Lindnord launched a crowdfunding campaign. The response was overwhelming. Donations poured in from across the globe, a testament to the universal appeal of Arthur's journey and the power of compassion. This outpouring of public support became a crucial element of the rescue, turning a personal mission into a global endeavor. It ensured that Arthur received the necessary medical care, passed all quarantine requirements, and could embark on his transatlantic flight, powered by the generosity of strangers. With funds secured, the final arrangements for Arthur's journey to Sweden began. This involved meticulous planning, a series of vaccinations, microchipping, blood tests to confirm health, and the acquisition of an EU pet passport. Arthur had to meet Sweden's stringent import requirements, including a mandatory quarantine period upon arrival. Every detail was crucial to ensure a smooth transition. The veterinary team worked diligently, preparing Arthur for the long flight, while Lindnord and his supporters coordinated the complex travel logistics. This phase was the culmination of weeks of dedicated rescue work, bringing Arthur closer than ever to his forever home. Finally, the day arrived for Arthur's epic journey across the Atlantic. Placed in a specially prepared travel crate, he was transported to Quito's International Airport. The flight itself was a testament to the immense logistical effort involved. From the bustling airport in Ecuador to his eventual landing in Stockholm, Sweden, every moment was carefully managed. Arthur traveled as cargo, a standard procedure for pets, but his journey was anything but ordinary. It was the longest, most significant leg of his rescue, a journey from the wild heart of the Amazon to the quiet calm of a Swedish home, transforming a feral stray into a beloved family member. Upon arrival at Stockholm Arlanda Airport, Arthur faced a period of quarantine, a final, necessary step to ensure the safety of his new country. It was a stressful time for everyone, especially for Lindnord, eager to reunite with his loyal companion. But after fulfilling all requirements, Arthur was finally released into Michael's arms. The moment was emotional, a joyous reunion that marked the true success of the entire rescue operation. Arthur, the jungle survivor, had not only found a new life but a loving family, a warm home, and a safe haven far from the dangers of the Amazon. Arthur quickly adapted to his new life in Sweden with Michael, his wife Helena, and their children. He traded the wild jungle for cozy beds and regular meals, the constant threat of starvation for loving care. His scars slowly healed, a testament to his ordeal, but his spirit, once tested by the Amazon, now thrived in domestic tranquility. The rescue had not only saved a dog but had created a profound, lasting impact on the Lindnord family and countless people worldwide who followed Arthur's story. It highlighted the incredible capacity for resilience in animals and the transformative power of human compassion. Arthur's story became a global phenomenon, inspiring millions. It led Michael Lindnord to establish the Arthur Foundation, dedicated to helping stray dogs worldwide find loving homes and providing medical care. The rescue operation, which began with a single meatball in the Amazon, evolved into a powerful movement for animal welfare. Arthur, the dog who followed an adventure race team, became a symbol of hope, resilience, and the profound connection possible between humans and animals. His legacy lives on, a reminder that every life has value, and every act of kindness can spark a ripple effect across the world.